What's up, guys? Unfortunately, I don't have a camera, so I can't really talk to you like directly. But basically, I just wanted to point out something. You guys know Tasteless, right? Well, last night he was casting something. He was casting the Code-S roundup, whatever, right? Well, basically, I wanted to point out something. He made a comment about it was a Zerg versus Zerg match, right? I even made I don't remember if it was a video or whatever, but I basically saved what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to play that right now, just so I can refresh my memory and get the pretty much the situation. You got the names there, Lenok versus someone. I already forgot the other guy's name. But basically, one of the Zergs just was just sending Zerglings, just putting this immense amount of pressure on this other Zerg, and he wasn't dying from it right away, but he was slowly dying. And while he was slowly dying, the other guy was slowly progressing. It could have went either way. Like someone could have, like one guy could have, oops, I didn't stop my drones or didn't move my drones in time. They all died. Or the other guy could be like, oops, I lost all my Zerglings at once and they all died. But they both played solid. And it was no all-in by any means because they played legitimately safe. Like if you watched the game, they would send in like a Baneling, then a Baneling, then a Baneling, then a handful of Zerglings, then a handful of Zerglings. It was never just 50 Zerglings at once that can die by one Baneling. It was just a handful of Zerglings that can die to a Baneling. And they were both constantly doing this for like a good extended amount of time. And the match went like 14 game minutes, and eventually went to mutas. Both of them had mutas, but the guy that was doing the all-in had more. How does that make sense? An all-in means you have no follow-up. Yet this guy that's doing an all-in just followed it up better than the guy that was playing defensive. So even the commentators make mistakes. Professional commentators make mistakes. I'm able to call this out because that's just talking. And I'm not a grandmaster to be able to say shit about players because I'm not a grandmaster and I apparently have to prove myself in order to call the shit that they do stupid. But this guy saying something like that just kind of proves my opinions are correct. And that is that it was really foolish of him to say what he did. And again, he's professional. So that did not stick with, like, I instantly was just like, no, dude, no! And, like, the match isn't even over yet, and they're still talking about it. And I was just like, no! Because, like, what are you talking about? That was not an all-in by any means. And, yeah, and like I said, I've been doing these plays for a long, long time. These players are just getting it, as in they barely started to make sense to them. And by default, now the rest of the world will get it as well, because now the pros are acknowledging it, so now everybody else will acknowledge it, because it takes a pro to say yes before anybody else will say yes. And that's the sad truth behind it. And it's the same thing for strategies, for example, like balance. You can never truly rely on the public opinion for balance, or even public numbers, like, oh yeah, well, 50% of the Zergs in the world lose to blah blah blah. Well, 50% of the Zergs in the world all copy this one guy, and this one guy, his one build, loses to this Terran counter. So now, by default, 50% of the world is now losing to this one guy because everybody else is doing that one counter. You know what I mean? And that's not every damn Zerg. That's just that one guy. It's just that's it. And then when people lose that, they go straight back to fort gating all the time, or straight back to proxy 2-racks or cannon rushing or 9-pull or whatever, And they go back to that. And yeah, that's pretty much what the world is at right now. And I'm not. I'm the one who's sitting there really being a tactician on this. And I'm like, wow, dude, I've been working on that build for a while now. It's just that I don't play enough. And now I'm playing more. And I'm already at the brink of breaking diamond and shit. Like, I'm already almost there. So yeah, anyways, that'll pretty much cover that. I just wanted to bring that up and really point that out to people that might have missed that. But it's the truth. Like, how are you going to call someone who had a better economy after the attack? How are you going to call that an all-in? Like, seriously, how are you going to call that an all-in? That just shows how askew people have become with this term all-in and cheesing and whatnot. How bad it's becoming with these people. and how I disagree with these maps and how Blizzard has to adapt to these certain playstyles that people are taking in because pro players are doing it, and that's the only reason why. And now they have to change the game up so that this one guy's strat will work for everybody, such as Mothership Core and Widow Mines. The reason why they get that so early is because everybody plays a certain way, and everybody's playing like a Zerg. And if you watch my other videos, I talk about that too. But yeah, I just want to point that out, and there you go. So play the race how you feel. Feel your race. That's all I'm going to say. Don't listen to these fucking professional idiots. I'm sorry, guys. I really love you guys and whatever. You're fun guys or whatever, but like Artosis, I have yet to see him fuck up. I'll admit that. I have yet to see him fuck up. I mean, like, they talked about some awkward shit sometimes, but I've yet to see him like say something like that. So that's just my opinion, and I'm only like a professional psychologist. So what do I know, right? Anyways, and tactician. Anyways, take care. Have a good one. Peace out, and click the follow. Is it? Is it the follow button? Or maybe it's like subscribe or whatever. Hit that button. Do it, and then unsubscribe, and then do it again. Just do it, and then tell your friends. Anyways, take care, guys. Have a good one. Peace.